What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That's the Alexis Arguello puppet.
And I'm your other host, Frank Benjis, and we're back with another one.
Yes, we are. Another heavyweight delight. We'll get him in here. Michael!
Hey.
Do we got you?
Yeah.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Can't complain.
Good. I specifically wanted to have you on here, man, especially in light of the fact that we just saw a card with a lot of intriguing heavyweight matchups here this past weekend. Well, we lost your camera there.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I don't know what happened.
That's all right.
Uh-huh.
I told the guy that was on last night, there's no crying in podcasting, man. We figured it out. He actually had to go out and come back in last night.
Oh, wow. What's up with my camera, though?
There's a camera button.
There we go.
There you go.
I don't know why it went away. There we go.
You're looking good, man. Looking good, champ.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you on here, man. So first of all, man, congratulations. You just won a fight on June 7th, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You just won June 7th. Yeah, he just actually beat Cassius Chaney, a guy we have had on the show. Great guy.
Yeah, good dude.
Had to go down in flames, though.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you gotta take care
but
of
we
business.
just saw a couple of intriguing heavyweight matchups here this past weekend, and I'm interested, to get your take on, first of all, the Andy Ruiz Big Baby Miller fight. Andy Ruiz had come back off of a long layoff, and he was taking a lot of criticism, at least on the broadcast, about not looking as sharp as the Andy Ruiz of old. Well, first of all, were you able to watch the fights this weekend?
Yes, I attended the fights. I stepped in the ring. It was a good show. I thought it was a great turnout. All the seats were packed. It was a good concert. It was, the weather was nice. It was just made up for a beautiful night of boxing. I think the show could have been a little bit more exciting as far as, the turnout. But I thought it was everybody had fun, a good time.
And what did you think specifically about the heavyweight matchups? Did anything surprise you? Now, you are the only blemish on Martin Bacoli's record happens to be you.
Yeah.
Lost him again. There you go.
Yeah, I'm back. I liked what I seen. I thought he did exceptionally well. I know that Big Baby Anderson is a very talented young kid. And he will definitely be back and probably stronger. He has a lot to grow still. He has a lot to grow into his own man stuff, not physically, but just mentally and emotionally. Yeah. So that just comes with living. You can't be 35 unless you turn 35. So
right.
Yeah, so I think that he will be back, but I thought it was a great performance from Martin Bacoli. I kind of expected that. I kind of predicted it. Is once that
me too.
Once the big punches start being thrown, it was kind of got into the heated rounds. I knew in the beginning that the athletic person was obviously going to give the bigger guy a little issue, but really getting moving and you start getting into the fight. You seen where the experience and just the onslaught that Bacoli put on was crazy.
What exactly went wrong for Big Baby, though? I mean, a lot of people are saying that he fought Martin Bacoli's fight, standing in front of him and trading shots with him.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily Martin Bacoli's fight. I mean, he fights like that all the time. It's not like he didn't do anything. He didn't change up his game plan. Actually, I told my guy too. I knew that was a bad. I didn't think that was a good call by getting him, switching his trainers and all that right at the last minute and, like that. And,
yeah.
I mean, I know he said he was still working with him and all that. I just thought that was not really a good look, but, it's boxing. But I think he did what every other heavyweight does. He didn't do anything different. Is when these guys are big, they kind of tend to have a big ego. They try to tend to, want to feel the guy's power and be able to say, "Oh, I could take this." They're not really thinking of it as, what I should do and what I should not do. Period. Um, Sticking to the law, pretty much. So I think that that's kind of what it is when you're a heavyweight. You kind of want to, not that some people do get that close, but you kind of want to feel how strong the guy is, or if you could take him. But if you're a smaller guy, you kind of have to use your feet until that time comes. You don't want to see and wait. So I think
Right.
that was where he kind of messed up at, is he kind of stood a little bit too much toe to toe with the big guy.
Can I just say, because you brought up the performance, as a white guy that deals in a lot of hip hop and shit, Eminem sucks.
Oh
I
my
didn't hear the
God.
song. I didn't hear the song. I heard it was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of people. I was right there. There was a lot of people that was excited about it. They all had their phones out. There was some songs I never heard before, but yeah. Overall, yeah, I think it was cool. I mean, I thought it was a good look overall, just on how they did the show. I think they should continue to do stuff like that. That's something that we've always talked about, of having
Yeah, the Saudi
performances and
Arabians. Yeah,
artists.
the Saudi Arabians know how to get it done, Michael. The Saudi Arabians know how to get it done. Apparently, they do.
Yeah,
They're
they
putting on
should.
great shows, great cards.
Yep. I thought Big Baby Miller. I thought he won. Uh,
Me too.
I thought he did enough to win. Um, he pushed. Anytime a guy that goes backwards, uh, I mean, you push a guy backwards that never fights backwards. That tells you a lot. And Andy Ruiz is not the guy to walk backwards. And if he does, he doesn't take too many steps backwards. He's usually a forward coming fighter, and usually people can't push him backwards. Like
Right,
Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is big, but he doesn't have the fluidity enough to push him backwards. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But Big Baby is bigger, and he's just as fluid, and can punch just like him. Can throw combinations. So I think that Big Baby did a great adjustment in the middle of the ring, because of it, in the beginning he was trying to box him and use his feet and kind of stay away from him, and then eventually he just said, okay, he just kind of started to bite down and walk to him, and I think that was a very good adjustment for him. So I tip my half off to
Now, why were
Jamel.
you able to, and of course, this is going back to 2018. So, I mean, that is a pretty good amount of time when you fought Martin McCauley. But why were you successful against him and able to? He does have a good chin. He is a very large man. Yeah, you were able to TKO him in the last round 10. You know what I mean? Like, why were can you specifically put a finger on, like, what specifically you were able to do to figure him out?
Well, one thing is, I think he was better when I fought him than he is now, because he was
Okay.
lighter,
Yeah.
just as strong, just as strong, and he comes forward. He came forward a lot more. He's a little bit more heavy footed. He doesn't move as much. I think it would be easier if I fought him this time. Um, and basically, like I said, I just pecked and poked until I couldn't, as much as I could, and I didn't really, I don't really try to feel nobody's power. If you see my fight compared to the Anderson fight, he was getting hit flush and getting his head pushed back. I was pulling my
Yeah.
head back and then getting hit, you know. So I was taking it off, is basically what I was saying, even when I was getting hit in that fight.
Right.
And there's just Bacoli is, I say it often, I'll say it again. He's hard on the outside. He's ego driven. So he's a hard shell, but he's soft on the inside. So but it takes a task to crack that, It's like a video game, you have to break down that thing. And in the very beginning of my fight, I noticed his energy of him not respecting me in a way. He kind of looked at me as a little guy, you
Yeah.
know, and like he was just gonna walk over me and walk through me. So obviously he's much bigger than me. And so when the bell rang, I tried to go and touch his glove, and he didn't touch it. So I said that was a good thing, because he kept the same energy. He in the press conference, he didn't, he mean mugged me and he dogged me out. He it's almost like a sign of disrespect, like he was just gonna run over me, right?
Yeah.
But in the middle of that fight, I sensed an energy change. And what happened is, when I was in about the sixth round or something like that, I was like, he was in the corner, and I had him, I was all in his stomach, and the bell rang, and he tapped me on my shoulder, like almost like a good job, almost like we were sparring, like good job. He
Yeah.
tapped me on my butt.
Yep.
And I just, it gave me the chills right then and there. I said, I got him. That was
Yeah.
it. So right there, I already knew that it was going to just take some time, that I broke him, because before that, his energy was different.
Yeah.
So when he tapped me on my back and gave me like that good job from getting in them guts, that's when I knew,
We got him.
yeah, it's only a matter of time. So I ended up getting him
Yeah.
at the end. And yeah, they would have gave me the loss if I didn't knock him out. And that's what I came out there for in the very beginning anyway. If I would have went to decision, I was expecting to lose anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta
Even though
say, getting in them guts, no Diddy.
no
Yeah.
Diddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna put a pause in there, but you know.
And now, so the WBA currently has you ranked number 3. So, what is the next move for you? Or the next fight, or what you would like to see be the next move?
Well, we're trying to climb up the WBA. We're trying to push for the Char, take that regular belt from him.
Yeah, I see Manuel Char's in that position right now.
Yeah, so we're trying to, his time is coming. He has to fight. So, and I'm right in line. So, we'll see what happens there. So, but right now I'll be fighting September 14th in Florida, just probably to stay busy, stay active, keep my name out
Yeah.
there, and show what I'm capable of. Give the fans what they need, and keep it pushing.
So like after like a big fight, and I know being a heavyweight, you don't really gotta too much stress your weight and all that, but like as a heavyweight, I know you're still trying to stay in shape and do your thing, but like after a big fight, after you've made weight and you get the win, what's your go-to meal? What do you gotta have after you done?
Mm, I usually, I'm not really a big on something, probably, I don't know, something home cooked probably. Yeah, I'm plant based. I've been plant based since like 2015 or something like that.
Oh,
So
there you go. There you go.
yeah. So I was vegan for a little bit, and then yeah. So I did a lot of experimenting, but yeah, I don't really have a thing. I don't really. Every now and then I don't like, I don't discriminate. Like I'll just want to crave chicken parmesan or something, or I'm never really a big fan. I've never been a big fan of red meat. So even as I was young, I never really ate a lot of red meat.
When you have a
So
plant-based diet, do you notice now? How long have you been on the plant-based diet? How long?
since 2015.
The
Yeah.
2015. Now, how does it affect your fighting? Obviously you're still with it. So do you feel like the health benefits have helped your career?
Yeah, but in the beginning, you have it's an adjustment if you're not, if you're an athlete, it takes a lot of different, calculations, because to eat, like for me, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a small heavyweight, I have to eat two or three people. I have to eat 6,200 calories to maintain a certain weight sometimes.
Right.
If I want to stay at 225, 230, I have to eat 6,000 calories. So eating 6,000 calories of vegetables is a lot of vegetables, and it's actually energy taxing just eating it. You'll
Yeah.
get tired. You know what I'm saying? You might not even be full, but you won't have that energy to just, consume it, but
Right.
you won't be you won't be super full. I mean, you might be full for 40 minutes, but you're gonna burp, and you'll be good to go. So I
Like
think
Chinese food.
I was about to say that, like Chinese food.
You
yeah.
eat it, and then you're hungry an hour later.
Yeah, I think I mean that's something that I kind of fell into because I wanted to be more efficient with my training and to get the
Yeah.
max out of it and to exactly get the energy so I could continue to go back into the gym. So I felt, eating, heavy diets or processed foods, mostly I was eating processed foods, nothing, like I said, I never was a big meat eater, red meat eater or anything like that. So I just try to stay away, even they say vegan, but I don't like to even use that because vegan people are fat and they eat bad too because of the
Sure.
process. They have fake meats and and it's not what the meat is. It's how they process it, how they make those foods. So
Great point.
depending
Yeah.
on how you got that fake burger or cheeseless cheese or milkless milk,
Right.
you know
Right.
Yeah, like
you know.
that, like it makes me wonder though. Like I be seeing this shit like, oh, they take a lion's mane mushroom and make a steak. I ain't not eating that shit, Mike.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
Yeah. I
sketchy.
mean, yeah. They you got to experiment because they want to make it taste like other foods. But eventually when you eat a lot of vegetables, what I've noticed and when I became plant based, for the most part, that my palate changed a little bit and you become a little bit more sensible. You know what I'm saying? Your
Yeah.
senses, your smell might come back a little bit. Your taste, your taste definitely becomes more acute. You know what I'm saying? Things your senses come. You're more sensitive to things. You know what I'm saying? You recognize. To me, I was able to even smell certain smells in like people's in a house or something. I said I'll smell that. I say that's not really good for you to be breathing in. You know,
Right.
I could, I could,
Right.
I could, I could taste that. I could smell that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
before you wouldn't sense that. You would just say,
Yeah.
it smells good. You know?
Yeah. Now, another thing I'd like to ask you about, man, is we're about to see a rematch, another heavyweight, another alluring heavyweight matchup between Fury and Usyk, who, interestingly enough, you faced Usyk in 2017 when he was still a cruiserweight. First of all, were you surprised about the Usyk Fury outcome?
No, I predicted that one pretty accurate. Uh, I was No, I wasn't surprised. I thought I could have. I thought it was going to end is pretty much just how it did. I knew that Tyson Fury to me has always been kind of he's been spotty. He has great moments, but he's not consistently great. And
Right.
you can't say that about Usyk. Usyk has been consistently performing at a high level, and Tyson Fury makes mistakes in and outside of the ring, and
Mm-hmm.
that's always going to show up. When you're a fighter and you got to go 12 rounds, uh, you can't hide. Everything shows up. It's all there. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, it's not me that's going to expose it. That's the nature of the sport. So, those are things that you have to account into. You know what I'm saying? How he lives his life. You know what I'm saying? What he does. How his mental state. He's a strong mentally. Mentally, when he gets in there, he's strong. But outside of the ring, we've seen him crack a little bit. We've seen him, have some, so a lot of that that you have to that is accounted for. You have to be accounted for. So I kind of predicted that Usyk lives a clean life. He's been very consistent. He has a lot of backing. uh, you know uh, he has a lot of different his life is different. They're in the he's at war over there, you know what I'm saying, his
Yeah.
country. So mentality is a little bit different. So I think that it will be the same. It will be very similar turnout. Usyk may, depending on it. See, when you're talking about this type of level of fighting, and I think only Usyk didn't do it as good. I think he would have did better if it was just if there was nobody in the room. But because there was Tyson Fury had thousands of fans, and he was the A side, and he had that energy opposed him because that's a battle in itself. I think that Tyson Fury did the best he could do, But
Yeah.
if it was reversed, then I definitely think that Usyk would have stopped him.
And now you don't see. And now, do you see the outcome in a rematch being any different? How does that play out?
No, I think the only way it plays out a little different is that's what I was explaining. I just didn't get to it. Is how they approach the fight. It's not really about, I think it will be very similar, and unless Tyson Fury is more safer, I don't think if he's more aggressive, I think that eventually it would be the same outcome.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yes.
I know like Floyd Mayweather kind of like would put this idea to rest, but do you sort of think that when guys get all that money and they sort of get into that position, do you think it sometimes like tarnishes their ability or their want for what they're going for?
In some way, yeah. In some way, I think it does. In other ways, like you said, I think Floyd, still had a good drive, but obviously to me, when he got to that point, it changed. He was able to pick the opponent, so he was able to
Yeah.
have a better show. But still inside him, he didn't take no big tough fights that the fans wanted him to see. He took the fight
Right.
that he could make the most money off of. So
Right.
I do think that, but I think there's, when you're that good and that great, and you're still a competitor, it's hard to see when it's like that. But that's a good example of that. So I think that the same thing would happen for Usyk. That yes, the drive is probably is probably come down now that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport, and he could retire right now and set off into the sun. There's not even a reason for him to do a rematch for his own legacy, to be honest.
And the one thing that upsets me, and now we've talked about this ad nauseum on this show, and even other fighters have come on here and can't figure out why some guys are in the rankings and some guys with phenomenal records are not in the rankings. I feel like when I look at the top 15 rankings outside of the WBA, though, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're not a guy that's mentioned nearly enough, and this is just my opinion, or given nearly the amount of respect in the heavyweight division as I think you should be. I don't know. Do you feel that though?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, a lot of everybody knows me. Everybody's been knowing me for quite some time in the sport. They know what I'm
Very avoided.
capable
I would
of.
say you're very avoided.
Yes. So, it's a business before it's a sport, and
Yeah.
that's what it is, So, I try to do the best I can. I was a little unfortunate to go the route or have the route that I had, I guess. My dad had a very, very similar career, other
Yep.
than, him having the amateur pedigree like myself. So yeah, nothing really I could say about it, but hopefully that we correct it, by the end of by the end of my term, because
Yeah.
Well,
I totally agree with it. I think that there's only one competitor there, which is Usyk for me, and the only fight I really would like, but all the other fights I really don't see me losing.
Yeah. You bring up, what I mean, the end of your career and all that, and I'm just curious because I know you just won a fight recently. So like, what is you looking to do like for the rest of the year? Like, how you looking to wrap this year up?
Well, I'm gonna fight in September 14th
Yep.
in Florida. Like I said, we were trying to push the manual char WBA regular belt title, and then obviously I think Usyk right now has it. They would probably have to vacate or fight Michael Hunter. You know what I'm saying at
Yeah.
that point. So that would be the route so far. Um, and
Manuel Char, by the way, is a guy that is 34-4. 34-4 to set the record straight. So he's definitely tasted defeat.
yes, he hasn't fought in quite some time. He's had been able to hold on to the title because of some type of dispute and some type of court situation they had with the WBA. So he's still there, and I would like to get that belt or have that opportunity to fight.
Go down and get some.
And I know we could talk about this with Char, and I'll say it because we just saw Crawford fight too. Do you feel like that there's a problem with the way these guys are able to retain these belts? Like, meanwhile, they're not doing anything in the sport. They're just kind of stagnant, but they just hold down a belt and just kind of like control it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because there's a lot of fighters. It's not just me, but there's a lot of fighters that are out there that that need an opportunity. We're missing the fights. Back in the day, you used to see, if you go look at the records back in the day, you see people with hundreds of fights. James Toney
I
had
know.
100 and something fights. You know what I'm saying? They were fighting every Tuesday.
Yep.
So you could just go to the club, go over there, go over here, go over there,
Yep.
and I think that, obviously it's unfortunate that it's not like that because there's a lot of fights that Ivan Ditsko, Sergey Kuzman, I haven't seen him in a while. Johnny Rice, there's so many fighters out there right now that are missing the opportunity.
So what would you like to do in 2025? I mean, you're going to fight in September. That probably will be the last fight for 2024, the one in September, more than likely.
Yeah, we're pushing for December, actually. We were pushing for the December, January for the Manuel Char situation. So obviously we're just pushing as hard as we can. So we don't know how that's going to roll. I don't know how that's going to roll, but we're going to be trying to get back in the ring ASAP. If I can fight in December before the year's up, I will.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I gotta ask. Benji's asked, like, about the diet. If Michael Hunter's got to put together the best 3 minutes of his life, whether it's a round of sparring or a round or whatever, who's the artist or the song that would be in your head?
It varies because if you ever watch my thing, I always like to come out in a different type of way. It's another thing that's been unfortunate. I haven't been able to entertain like I would like to, but
Yeah.
it just depends on who I'm fighting, and what the message is, and what the time is. I like to send a message or put a message out there, and make something cool of it. So I got a few in the back, a couple of different songs. One, a couple of African songs if I ever fight overseas in Africa.
Yep.
If I fight Martin Bacoli over there, I got a couple of different songs, so.
So am I hearing this right? We could see a Martin Bacoli fight in Africa.
Hey, we could.
That would be great.
That would be awesome, right? Somebody,
Yeah.
one of Bacoli's fans told me to do it in Scotland. So I mean, that might, could
Which
be.
he
Who
does
knows?
have ties there as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
Scottish. So wherever they would like to do it at, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so we'll see. I went to his home. I was in London in his backyard on his promotion. With all the odds against me the first time. So
Yeah.
I
So
ain't about to do it again.
the biggest question of the night, Michael, is who's your Mount Rushmore? And we know now this is in South Dakota. Who's your Mount Rushmore of boxers? The big four.
Your big four.
That is too tough.
That's why we save it. That's why we save it for the end. We're putting the pressure on you this time, Michael.
Man,
Not
that's
necessarily the best four, just your
best four, not necessarily the greatest four of all time. It's very subjective.
I'm gonna have to put my dad on there.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
I mean, and that's just. I really feel that way. At some point in time, when he was the best fighter in the world. So,
The original bounty hunter.
Yeah, the OG. I think Floyd got to be on there. Roy Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, Roy gets a lot of love. Roy gets mentioned a lot when we ask this question.
And probably James Toney.
Oh, I love it. And I love
Yeah.
the fact that you didn't go with the standard because we all, because a lot of the names we do hear a lot. We always hear a lot of Muhammad Ali. We always hear a lot of James Toney, though. James Toney does not get a lot of love. And we've had him on the show. And the one thing that's so great about James Toney, and we've laughed about it and talked about it, is James Toney might have losses on his record, but to hear James Toney tell it, none of those guys really beat him.
He the best.
That's the kind of attitude
He's
you got to
the
have. Yeah,
best.
from 160 to heavyweight, that guy was incredible.
He's the best, bro. He was something different, bro.
Yeah, absolutely
You still
incredible.
don't see nobody fight like him, and it's smooth
No.
and it's still nobody.
Right. It was so amazing to watch the fact that that it was literally right there, right in the kitchen, but never getting hit though.
Yeah, what? But not nobody fights like that. Like
I know. I don't even see anybody really. I don't even see anybody. Yeah, I don't even see anybody really close to even fighting like that.
Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah, he would definitely be on there.
Oh, that's good, man. It always does my heart good to hear some guys that don't get a lot of love and get mentioned a lot, man. Roy Jones has been starting to get a lot of traction, though. A lot of people have been starting to and I mean, come on, man. We've known about Roy, forever. He should be on that Mount Rushmore.
And Roy with that ass bicep.
That crazy freaky bicep.
Yeah, exactly. He was Superman to me when I was young. I was like,
oh man, yeah.
Man.
I think a lot of people forget, man. He really carried boxing in the '90s, man. Like he was he was the guy in the '90s.
Right. I mean, when I was a kid, that's what I grew up watching. I used to be like to my dad, like, Dad, did you fight like him? Like, cause
he fought like him. Yeah, he was a beast, man. Well, hey, listen, Michael, I'm glad we got a chance to do this, man. We love having you on, man. You're a friend of the show, man. For sure, stay in touch. We will definitely do this again. Keep us notified. Try to have you on again, either right before the fight in September or afterwards, man. And certainly keep us in the loop if anything big develops, man. We'd love to have you back on.
Hey, Ben G, Rexx, thank you for having me. I really appreciate y'all.
Always, man. Much love, champ. Appreciate you doing it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all be good.
Yeah, talk to you soon, buddy. I'm telling you, man, nobody wants to fight that dude, man. Easily one of the most avoided guys. And we always hear the term somebody's being ducked or whatever, man. Michael the Bounty Hunter, man, is really one of those guys that gets ducked. Nobody's even whispering that guy's name, man. 23-1, 16 knockouts, man. He shared the ring, and I believe he went the distance in 2017 with Usyk. Of course, that was at cruiserweight. And he TKO'd Martin Bakole in round 10 of 10 back in 2018.
You would have to say, though, in that Usyk would have more power at cruiserweight, right?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at Michael Hunter at 6'2", and he stick through the shoulders. You can even see that in this episode. He's got the big hands, so it doesn't make me laugh when he refers to himself as a small heavyweight.
Bigger than 6'2".
He's around 6'2", 6'3" himself. Yeah, like those guys would be like a great matchup, man, because they are, very similar builds, very similar styles, man. Michael, has got an amazing skill set.
And if Michael Hunter swelled himself up a little bit, would Usyk's power translate up there?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they went the distance at cruiserweight, then what's for me to say that his power would translate up there against you?
And I find it unbelievable, man, that the WBA regular heavyweight champion, of course, the
4 fucking losses.
Of course, the recognized champ is Usyk, but Ben Char's got that secondary belt. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he's 34-4-1. So apparently, man, it's not you don't have to have the prestigious, unblemished record, man, in order to be fucking toting a belt around, and you don't even really got to fight all that often because, as he alluded to, man. He's been in the courts. He's been holding that belt hostage. I mean, for all intents and purposes, but he's got to cough it up or vacate it at some point. As I said, Michael Hunter's ranked number 3 in the WBA. The guys in front of him, Usyk, Manuel Char, have belts, and then Bakole and Fury are the guys in front of him. So he's got to get somebody here.
That just goes to show you about the rankings and the way they do things and why we always question it, man.
Yeah, you have to question it. Man.
Oh,
but easily,
we don't understand how these dudes get title shots. We don't.
Right. And I love the fact that he shouted out his pops, you know, the OG, the original bounty hunter, man. That was a classy move, man. That touched me in a certain kind of way, man. Putting pops up on the Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean? Like, that's special, man.
That touched you in a certain kind of way, no daddy.
Yeah. I'll let you say that for me, man, because I'm out of the hip loop, man. Like, I wouldn't even think to ever say pause or no diddy, man. I just say what I say, and, you know, hopefully.
He knew it.
Yeah, he did know it. Yeah, he realized the error of his ways afterwards. And he should know, for God's sakes. He should know. But still, man, Michael the Bounty Hunter, man, and certainly one of the classiest, you know, guys, man, you know, very soft-spoken, not on here barking and woofing and talking a lot of shit or whatever. Just a guy that goes in and gets the job done and carries himself with a high degree of class, man. I always respect that, man. You know what I mean?
Very smart, very articulately spoken.
Yeah.
Knew what he was talking about. Nah, I respect the fuck out of that.
But not a guy that anybody really wants a piece of, dude, man. You know, you don't hear anybody ever calling out his name, man. And for good reason, dude. He's a problem for most fucking people, dude, man. You know what I mean? He really is, man. And that's why I had to ask him the question about, you know, feeling that disrespect. Because, like, when you're talking about great heavyweights of right now, you know, current guys doing it, man, I feel like he's not given that respect.
Who's that?
This is my co-star right here. This is my co-star.
Baby.
I think she's co-starred on a couple of your episodes, on your end a couple of times.
Of course she has. That's my princess.
You can't keep her out of the episodes, man. But yeah, look at that face, though, man. She's a natural. Say something to the audience out there. Say hi, audience.
Hi, audience.
Say hi, boxing fans.
Hi, boxing fans.
Show them your fist.
I know
Look at that.
I know you look just like me, but since you're on here, can I break your balls and tell you got a face for radio?
Whoa. How can you say that? Ask him. How can you say that?
Can you say that?
Oh,
Yeah.
You're my princess.
And now we just talked to Michael the Bounty Hunter, man, who said that one of his favorite boxers of all time is his dad. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Yeah, that's touching, right? That's very touching.
Yep.
Yeah, you can have a sip of my drink. You see that, man? This is what you go through right here, man. Yeah, you
my
can.
chocolate milk is all gone.
Your chocolate milk is all gone.
Do you know who Daddy shouts out at the end of every episode?
One of our great American poets and guys in the entertainment business.
You gotta get on that microphone right now, and you gotta say, "Shout out Gary Busey," because
Hold on. Don't give her the whole thing. Hold on. Don't give her the whole thing. Give it to her like a little bit. Say, "Shout out Gary Busey." Go ahead. You say it.
Shout out Gary Busey.
Because I can go 15 seconds with anything.
Because I can go 15 seconds without anything.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I'm so sick of saying it. So tell people out there, man, to like and follow us on Facebook.
Like and follow us on Facebook.
At Off the Couch Boxing.
At Off the Couch Boxing.
And be sure to like and subscribe.
And be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And hit the notification bell.
Because these are the best boxing conversations anywhere.
Because these are the best
boxing conversations anywhere in the civilized world. You don't have to say that part. I mean, come on, man. She's a natural, man. I'm so sick of saying it. If people aren't tapped in by now, something's wrong. So maybe
let her hit him with the slogan.
Yeah, do you want to hit him with the big slogan? You want to throw on Papa's glasses and hit him with the big slogan? Tell people out there, if you want to be a champion, you got to roll with the champs.
You got to roll with the champs.
Peace.
Peace.